All right, MA Marignon, turn 41. Time to see if some dudes in robes can take on an Ivy King and friends. Let's see, we got quite a bit of stuff going on. Hey, one of our throne claims, right. Hooray, nice to see our god up there. And then let's see, very scary Titan SC, Throne of Knowledge, that's pretty nice for whoever grabbed that. Comes with sages, who are excellent researchers, so if your nation's not so good at researching, that is one way to correct that. Right, we get our large fire elementals, that's good, we're going to be needing those soon. Continuing to do a lot of remote site searching, and it's not, right, there's the Well of Pestilence, we knew about that. Otherwise, not so good. Oh wait, hold on, one more, also a miss, of course. And then for our manual site searching, we miss once, but hey, we find, 2 sites here, and these both look like astral, and that's good. We like astral. Our astral income is actually in a pretty good place, but still, we will definitely find uses for more. So, not a great turn for site searching, but at least we found some sites. And then, yeah, a lot of battles. Some of ours, some that are not ours, starting with, looks like Ashdod is riding out on their capital. This is probably more or less all that they have. Well, no, they have at least 2 other Anarchite groups that we know about. So, and some caster support this time. So yeah, this looks like probably elementals, I'm guessing, but nothing wrong with that. He's also got, a few of these human slingers, which will be useful to get rid of glamour on any elven units. And looks like Arayu chose not to hang out. So their capital is unlocked. That is nice for them and bad for us. Let's see, Rot Marsh. This sounds like where our crossbowmen went. Yeah, so let's see if we face, nope, no province defense dump. Was a little concerned about that because I felt like this was a fairly obvious raid, but Bandar may not, they don't have a lot of territories, so they may not have all that much money. So yeah, I think this is going to work out for us. Yeah, no losses there. Very nice. We like to see that. We took control of some province. Not sure where this is. Oh, this is against Ashdod, so they're not even choosing to leave behind one province defense. They're not even curious what we're doing. Then we get attacked twice by Bandar, so this is one of these, of course, is going to be the thug. Yeah, here he is. We moved. Oh, no, this is a new thug. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, lots of fire resistance. Very cool. Sadly, we do have a grab bag of stuff. Okay, yeah, our friar is at least set to retreat. This guy who is eventually going to build a fort, but is certainly not building a fort yet. So, we're going to lose a commander here, which is a little sad. And now there's 2 thugs for us to deal with. Hooray! But that, was expected, right? We're setting up to build another paladin, and, we can certainly recruit another paladin to kill these guys. We know all about this fellow. He's our hero. Well, okay, not our hero, but he's the hero that we have in our life. So here we are attacking, right? This is our witch hunter. Always a little dangerous, leading these parties with dudes in robes. Yeah, Bandar does not seem big on province defense. I don't even know, there's probably a caveman province, so 1 PD, only a monkey commander. We should be able to take that. Yep, no losses, that's good. And then let's see, this is our fellows in robes. Yep. And they are up against, a bunch of Vinemen. And a Ivy Lord, an Ivy King who's enlarged himself, Nature 3 caster. He's got some nature gems. We're hoping for not bugs. Pretty much anything else he does with those gems is fine. Bugs, we're ethereal now, right? And we put Iron Warriors on ourselves. So, we're actually iron-skinned in robes, and we actually have decent protection now. So we're fairly safe now. The main issue was going to be if they did, bugs turn 1. And there's the bugs, but now that we have our fire elementals out, even though they're just lesser fire elementals, bugs do really poorly because of the fire shield, so they just kill themselves. Oh boy, now we're doing gifts from heaven. That's terrifying. And we're set to advance and cast spells, which as you can see was a little bit concerning. Nice, we get out a full-size fire elemental. That's cool. We didn't have that scripted because we didn't have that spell last turn, but if the AI has the option, right, they can cast spells that got researched this turn, because research is one of the first things that happen, so you pretty much always have access to that research. Now, whether or not you can convince the AI to cast something that you haven't explicitly scripted, that's a whole nother matter. So that works out for us. We do spend a decent amount of gems on that little adventure, but, we don't take any losses, so that's nice. And then let's see, there's a battle in Mictlan, so that's kind of surprising. I wonder like what he left behind. Oh, he's just got a scout following his friend. So he gets to see, and this is a little sad, right? Because now he gets to see that, hey, we have a dedicated kill squad. So if he's paying attention, he knows what he's going to be up against. But that's okay. I don't really think there's anything he can do about it just yet. There's only so many ways you can kit a thug. So if he sets it up so that our sword carriers aren't going to be great, then maybe he loses some fire resistance and fire elementals, or maybe he loses some magic resistance, and then we soul slay him. So we will figure those thugs out. Their days are numbered, I swear. If we can just catch them. And then Ashdod, like, moving along, I don't know, like, what are you doing here? He's definitely annoying me. He's gonna take this province. Like, yeah, will we ever catch these giants? Will we ever drop rocks on them? Time will tell. It's not looking like it, but yeah, he takes a province. That's great. We'll keep following him, keep driving him out of our territory. And this could be Uruk's last gasp here, because this is probably a storm from Eriu. Yeah, the giant stack of crossbowmen. And yeah, there's nothing in this fort. So Eriu is going to be able to take this without any difficulty. Let's see if they probably take a couple losses from the wall archers, but nothing that they can't afford to lose. Speaking of storms, this is going to be a little more interesting. Don't know if there's anything in this fort, but we haven't really seen Agartha yet. Not loving this formation for fort storming, but yeah, there's not too much in here. A lot of Vedi hags though, who are mostly useful as like researcher mages. Wow, a bunch of blood ones, but no blood slaves, right? And like no gems really to speak of. So this is looking kind of unscripted. There's a few giant troops here, but don't think it's really going to make a difference. So the formation doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, a bunch of mind blasters, a bunch of these sacreds who, a bit of a mixed bag. They're pretty slow, but they have a lot of hit points, and they do hit really hard. And then various groups of magma children, quite a few casters here, right? So a good amount of caster support, I would say, for like this level of army. And he's got some bodyguards on some of his more important mages. Like, yeah, this is looking like a solid army. Let's take a look at what the bless is. And what they're casting. Let's see, it's a Divine Blessing. Nice, he's gone with larger. Attack density is kind of already a problem for these Shard Guard, and it does make their attack density even worse. But, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, well, they're never going to impress anyone with their attack density anyway. The other nice thing is they have a pretty long weapon, so now they're size 4. They're much more likely to repel. That said, it doesn't look like he's really gone for a repel build. Yeah, just resistances. Pretty high on the cold resistance, which is kind of interesting. He went for map speed, which you don't actually see too often on blesses, but I think is possibly undervalued. Being able to move around on the strategic map faster is really nice. And these guys are really slow. Is it worth it does it move them to a place where they're fast enough that it matters? That I don't know, but I can certainly see why you would want these guys to move faster. So not crazy there. Combat Farcaster, yeah, I think he gets some Sacred Mages in there, so that can definitely be useful if you're planning on like some evocation stuff. And then Unaging, which is interesting. I'm not really sure if Agartha normally has age problems. These certainly look like, some old men who are sacred, so like, sure, maybe is useful. I don't really know Agartha well enough. These Vedi, right, they're just doing like a little bit of luck spam, not even really body ethereal, like a few skeletons, some protection. Like they're too low level, and especially without gems, they're just not really going to be able to do much. And, giant troops are, like, decent, but against all of this, they might kill some magma children, right? Because magma children just don't have very good defense, but, yeah, there's no way this is ever going to work out. So let's see if that cost Agartha too much. I'm going to lose a Barbarian Lord. Kind of interesting that they have that. And then, a few of their infantry, and, of course, a few magma children. It's really hard not to bleed those guys, it seems like. But I would say totally acceptable losses to take a fort, so nicely done there. And then we get some unexpected events. Let's see. Okay. Nice, a nature event. Yeah, we should try to get a nature mage in there. I'll have to see exactly where that is. Hey, we caught a trader, got some gold, caused some unrest. That's fine. Black steel plate, meh. And then one earth gem, which is usually how those gem events go. If you took some misfortune, so can't really complain there. And then Ashdod is attacking Independence, was attacked by Independence. So it looks like he got a night attack the same turn that he rode out. This is normally pretty dangerous, and he's probably going to lose these human slingers. Okay, he's got some flaming arrows, very nice, and some elemental stuff. But Anakites are super scary, so it may have took some afflictions, lost some human slingers. I'm sure it's a little annoying, but all things considered, works out for him pretty well. Yeah, doesn't lose any Anakites. That's the important thing. And then we caught a sneaking enemy. So Eryu is just trying to take a look at what we've got. And then, of course, we're sitting on that Tianqi fort, and it looks like Uruk was permanently vanquished. We didn't catch a ton of that conflict, but it did keep Eryu busy for a pretty long time on minimal resources. So, like, nicely done holding out, and, definitely props to that player for continuing to play. A lot of people just bail. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys after the jump. All right, this is the situation and what we're doing about it. I guess let's cover the easier stuff first. So we're continuing to raid against Ashdod. This is the province that Eryu agreed to give up to us, which, now is filled with Anakites, but that's okay. We need to kill some giants, obviously. This is the province that they raided away from us this turn, so there's a possibility that, they'll combine and we'll have to face everything. This is also a little bit of a risky attack because we only have one retreat route that might get cut off because I think this is open. So not a great attack in that sense, but, we do have the numbers, like we are set up to deal with these giant groups, so I'm not expecting a failure, but we'll see. There's always the possibility for disaster there, but there just isn't really enough stuff here to seriously threaten us, right? Worst case scenario, if we do lose a battle, we can always retake the provinces that they're taking. They're not really going to be able to crack our forts, so yeah, not too worried about this, especially since they did break out of their capital, but yeah, I have faith in Eryu being able to handle this. It does look like, not Xibalba, Falegra has mostly demilitarized our border, so, if there is going to be an attack coming, it'll probably be, in a little while. It does look like Xibalba is doing a decent amount of raiding, so I imagine that is what Falegra is focused on, and then of course our main focus right now is on Bandar, and that's the tougher part of the turn. So we're going to send our crossbowmen raiders here. Like, yeah, they could die to a PD dump, they could die to a thug. He now has 2 thugs out. The good news, I looked up the cost for these guys. They're 25 nature gems to bring in just for the chassis alone. And, with the amount of territory that he has, I do think he gets nature gems out of his capital site, but, not that many, not that quickly. So, with the amount of territory that he has, like, he's never really going to be able to mass produce these thugs. And even if our paladins don't trade super effectively with them, as long as they trade, like, we can definitely make more paladin counter thugs than he can thugs. So anyway, he's got these 2 thugs here, and they will no doubt, continue to raid, and it's going to be difficult for us to catch them. We're probably going to end up needing like more paladin counter thugs than, he has thugs, just so that we can intercept. But, we'll retake the provinces that he's been taking. We're also bringing out some flagellants who are probably going to die, but we're also going to be up against province defense here, possibly. And, our paladins can definitely deal with some province defense, but that's not really what they're set up for, so like a PD dump could actually be a bit problematic for them. So anyway, the flagellants will help with that. We are leaving the crossbowmen at home, so we have something of a garrison, and we are inflating that a little bit with this item, so that'll hopefully dissuade Falegra from attacking us, while we're still trying to fix this situation. And then, yeah, the difficult decision, right, what to do with our army. Obviously, like, can't hang out in the Well of Pestilence. I actually don't know how painful. I'm not sure if it triggers this turn. Yeah, we have some diseased guys there. Anyway, so there'll be a few guys that are dying from disease. It looks like at least so far none of our commanders have been diseased, so that's nice. But we don't want to hang out here. The other problem is, like I said, I'm not convinced that our army can beat this thug. Now, if he doesn't have friends and we get him before a lot of his script goes off, then like probably we can kill him, but yeah, the army is still not really set up to deal with him, and I don't really want to risk it. We want to go after like his forts and his armies, so our 2 movement options, right, are these 2 caves, and I really wasn't sure where to go, and the deciding factor in the end was like this cave could be reached by this thug, and initially I was thinking like, yeah, he's probably gonna run it right into here, but this is a large army, so he may be a little bit hesitant to run his thug like directly into an army like that. He's certainly seen his thugs beat like smaller forces, but he may not be as aware as I am that like there isn't really anything in here that's going to counter his thug. So I am expecting him to come after this throne, and I think we'll kill him if he comes in, because we're going to risk our pretender, which is not great. Like we don't have great kitting for him yet. This is something I need to get better at. You really should probably make kit, especially for your squishy guys like this. Make him some kit. It's definitely worth it. But we did at least give him a bunch of gems, right, just in case, and we can use some of those gems to summon in an air elemental. Turn 1, along with, actually I should do, because the army was not going to hang out. So we have a little bit of province defense, right? And we also are bringing in some lizard shamans for some bugs. And, we've seen his thugs kill a ton of bugs, but this is mostly just gives him something to do while the air elemental tramples him. And I think the air elemental alone is going to be really dangerous for him. Then combined with the fact that he's going to be busy with the bugs, and then we have a decent number of knights. These guys are just going to hang out and guard our pretender, but the other guys are going to get loose and go after his thug. We're going to get strength of giants on them, which is an element that we haven't had before. So when you combine that with the fact that it's very unlikely that he gets through his full script, and he hasn't had friends to help him out lately, I think there's a good chance we kill him that way. And then also our pretender can cast lightning bolt, right? And he has shock weakness. So, and then worst case scenario, gift from heaven, which really hoping to not rely on, but it's another thing that we have. We'll also throw out solar eclipse so that our knights are going to, be able to fight more effectively. So anyway, I don't know. I think all of this stuff will do the trick. We may just need the air elemental. But like I said, he may not be as confident to just jump into this. So there's also a decent chance he comes here. And, like I said, we do not want our army fighting that thug just yet. So we're going to go down to this cave. Like, who knows? Like, his army came down here, and I really don't understand this move. In theory, if he was planning on attacking me, the only advantage that it buys him is that, right, he can attack this province now. So, like, assumedly it's coming here, but then again, he did hold this province until this turn, so he may decide that he wants to, recapture this. The other nice thing for him about this province is he can move mage support in from both of his forts, whereas it's I don't think they can reach over here. So, we would like to take a battle in either cave because that's advantageous for us. So, fingers crossed that he does move out to here, but I think there's a pretty good chance that, there's a pretty good chance he just sits in the fort and that his thug moves here. And like from there, yeah, I don't know, right? We'll see. Moving our pretender into a place with enemy dominion is going to be really bad. He doesn't have a lot of HP to begin with. Like he's not for combat. Sadly, we have not been getting really any air random grandmasters. Because like even one of those guys would be really nice, maybe actually another reason to go to Conjuration 6. Yeah, we've talked about this before for our air summons, because just a little bit of lightning damage would really help prevent our army from bouncing to his thug. Anyway, we don't really have a lot of good movement options from here, depending on what his thug does. But then again, it's not like we can really move into his thug. I don't want to sit in a Well of Pestilence. Moving back into Arco just seems sad. So we're going to risk it. And to that end, right, we're bringing down an indie commander, right, which normally I wouldn't even bring up, but there's a good chance we're going to need some leadership to gather up a bunch of recruitment from these forts. And we are, doing a little bit of, knight recruitment, and I think also some knight recruitment, in Arco. So we're getting ready. If we do lose this force, like I said, we'll gather up a bunch of other stuff and gateway it over to one of these forts. So yeah, we'll see. I maybe should have stayed home, right? Maybe this is a mistake. But like I said, I think I also maybe have just been outplaying myself. We'll have to see what Bandar brings to the table. Otherwise, we are going to try to grab this Jianqi fort. I actually have not contacted Jianqi. I should probably do that because this is technically a violation of our non-aggression pact. I don't really think that he's going to care because it's way past the point at which our intervention is going to matter. And in fact, this is really almost the last possible moment that we could have intervened because we can see, there's a stack of Daibakumono down here, and they definitely could have chopped through the Vinemen. So, we'll see, where Shiniyama is. Haven't talked with them yet either. Like I said, this is in our dominion. It's just one province that we're sniping on the border. As far as vulturing goes, it's pretty mild. Abyssia has had a sub, so, we'll have to see, if they change what they're planning on doing or how they're playing. But things are not looking up for them because Pangea is loose now. And otherwise, I don't think too much has changed in regards to our scouting. We're just continuing. We want to see what's on Ulm's capital. We found that. I think we still don't exactly know where maybe this is Asphodel. We don't know where their capital is yet. So we're just trying to scout out this border, keep eyes on the Xibalba Phlegra conflict. And I think that more or less covers turn 41.